Living constantly in a dynamic where the person you love becomes the source of your anxiety and discomfort is a distressing reality. It's challenging to deal with someone who seems not to recognize the value of the basics and, worse still, puts you in the position of begging for what should be given naturally. This situation creates a cycle of uncertainty, anxiety, and self-punishment, where your needs and feelings always seem to be sidelined. These probing questions not only challenge the relationship dynamic, but also provoke internal analysis of self-esteem, boundaries, and what it truly means to be loved and respected. It's time to confront these harmful patterns and find the courage to redefine your boundaries and priorities. The pursuit of love. Who among us hasn't been there, wandering through that emotional labyrinth, sliding frantically in the hope of finding a connection that makes us feel whole? It's a journey marked by lofty hopes and deep disappointments, where we feel like ships being pulled by unpredictable waves on the shore of our lives. And, of course, there's heartbreak, those moments when the love we chase seems to fade before our eyes, leaving us questioning if we're chasing something that will never come. Have you ever found yourself in an endless pursuit of love, chasing after something that always seemed to slip through your fingers? The journey for love often takes us down winding paths, making us run desperately in the hope of finding happiness in someone else's arms. However, what is discovered along the way is that true love is rarely gained when we're desperately chasing it. But today, I want to share a different story, a wiser perspective on love. One that isn't found swiping screens or anxiously awaiting text messages. It's a perspective discovered within ourselves, ready to be unveiled in the vast world of philosophy. Specifically, I found guidance in Stoicism. In Stoicism, I discovered that desperately pursuing love can be a path filled with obstacles and suffering. This philosophy values self-discipline, authenticity, and self-reflection. Through Stoic practices, I learned to look inward instead of seeking external validation or solutions to my self-esteem and confidence issues. I found that love, in its most authentic form, isn't found in another person, but within myself. And so, a new perspective was born, one that I wish to share with you. A perspective that invites us to have an access in the vast terrain of our own being in search of true love and true connection. Before we dive into the first lesson, take a quick check to ensure that you're already subscribed to the channel. The upcoming videos will form a series of Stoic content aimed at helping you find balance, wisdom, and serenity amidst life's challenges. Don't miss out on this journey of personal growth. Lesson 1. Personal growth. Here I am to share something extremely valuable with you. Have you ever thought about how your own personal journey can influence your ability to love and be loved? It's amazing how self-discovery and personal development can reshape your understanding of love, empowering you to seek more authentic and fulfilling relationships. Stoicism reminds us that true love originates from within. Before fully committing to another person, it's crucial that you first learn to value and accept yourself. This involves diving deeply into your own being, exploring your emotions, facing your fears, and fostering a deep and compassionate connection with yourself. As you embark on this journey of personal evolution, you realize that you don't need external validation to feel fulfilled. You begin to understand that you are self-sufficient and that a healthy relationship should complement you rather than fill a void. Moreover, personal growth allows you to establish healthy boundaries, express your needs and desires with clarity and confidence, and cultivate relationships based on equality, respect, and mutual trust. As you become more aligned with your values and aspirations in relationships, you become more discerning in your romantic choices. You no longer settle for superficial or toxic connections, instead seeking authentic and meaningful bonds that challenge you to evolve and support you in your individual journey. Additionally, personal growth equips you with the necessary tools to navigate relationship challenges with empathy, compassion, and forgiveness, recognizing that true love is a continuous commitment to mutual growth and support. So, if you're in search of genuine love, remember, the journey begins with yourself. Dedicate yourself to your personal growth, explore your identity and desires, and remain open to receiving the love you deserve. Because when you commit to your own growth, you unleash the potential for a love that is genuine, deep, and transformative. Lesson 2. Self-reflection. You know, sometimes we forget the power that is within our reach when we dedicate ourselves to self-reflection. It's like a bright light illuminating the darkest corners of our minds and hearts, allowing us to clearly see our thoughts, emotions, and behavioral patterns. Stoicism teaches us that true wisdom begins with self-awareness. By becoming aware of our thoughts and feelings, we gain the ability to examine them with clarity and objectivity, without being carried away by impulses or passing emotions. When we apply this practice to our love life, we realize how self-reflection can be a powerful tool for improving our relationships. Instead of automatically reacting to situations, we can pause and reflect on our own reactions, seeking to understand their origins and consequences. This allows us to identify harmful or inappropriate behavioral patterns that may be affecting our relationships. Perhaps we discover that we have difficulty expressing our emotions in a healthy way, or that we tend to avoid conflicts at all costs. By acknowledging these patterns, we can begin to work on them and develop new communication and conflict resolution skills. Furthermore, self-reflection helps us cultivate greater empathy and understanding in our relationships. When we put ourselves in the other person's shoes and try to see situations through their eyes, we are able to build bridges of connection and strengthen bonds of intimacy and trust. But self-reflection is not limited to moments of crisis or conflict. It also allows us to appreciate and value the moments of joy and happiness in our relationships. By looking back and reflecting on the positive experiences we have shared with our loved ones, we cultivate a sense of gratitude and appreciation for the love we have in our lives. So, the next time you find yourself facing a challenge in your relationship, take a moment to step back and self-reflect. Examine your thoughts, emotions, and behavioral patterns with honesty and compassion, and be open to learning and growing from the experience. Because it is through self-reflection that we become the best partners we can be, capable of loving and being loved in deeper and more meaningful ways. And when we commit to this ongoing process of self-awareness and growth, we open the doors to relationships that are truly rewarding and transformative. Lesson 3. Self-acceptance. You know, sometimes we find ourselves struggling against ourselves, striving to be someone we think we should be instead of simply embracing who we truly are. But Stoicism teaches us that true freedom begins with self-acceptance, the act of embracing all our imperfections and quirks with love and compassion. Accepting yourself may seem like a daunting task, especially when bombarded by unrealistic standards of perfection imposed by society and the media. But the truth is, nobody is perfect, and it is precisely in our imperfections that we find our humanity and authenticity. When we fully accept ourselves, we are able to show the world our true essence, without fear of being judged or rejected. This allows us to build genuine and authentic relationships, based on honesty, vulnerability, and mutual respect. Moreover, self-acceptance frees us from the burden of self-criticism and self-deprecation, enabling us to cultivate greater self-esteem and confidence in ourselves. Instead of hiding behind masks of false security, we can show the world exactly who we are, imperfections and all. And when we accept ourselves, we create space for others to accept us too. We no longer need to strive to be someone we're not just to please others, because we know that we are worthy of love and acceptance exactly as we are. So, the next time you find yourself battling your own internal demons, remember to practice self-acceptance. Acknowledge and celebrate your unique qualities and human flaws, and remember that you are worthy of love and respect, regardless of your imperfections. Because it is when we love and fully accept ourselves that we are able to build healthy and authentic relationships, based on true connection and mutual understanding. And when we allow ourselves to truly be who we are, we can live with authenticity, passion, and purpose. Lesson 4. Emotional independence. Now, let's address a topic of utmost importance. You know, nowadays, we often see a pattern in relationships where people seem to excessively rely on each other emotionally. It's as if they're seeking in others the exclusive source of their own happiness and fulfillment. However, Stoicism reminds us of the importance of emotional independence, and how it not only strengthens us individually, but also makes us more attractive as partners. Think about it. When we become emotionally independent, we don't place the burden of our happiness on someone else's shoulders. Instead, we cultivate our own source of joy, self-esteem, and inner satisfaction. This not only makes us more resilient in the face of life's adversities, but also enables us to enter into relationships in a more balanced and healthy way. Imagine yourself as an oasis in the desert, where you're able to find water and nourish yourself independently, instead of relying on someone else to quench your thirst. This not only makes you more attractive to others, because it shows that you're a complete and independent person, but also creates a solid foundation for a more harmonious and satisfying relationship. Moreover, emotional independence allows us to establish healthy boundaries and communicate our needs and desires clearly and assertively. This is essential for building genuine and respectful relationships, where both partners feel heard, valued, and supported. And when we enter a relationship as emotionally independent individuals, we're able to nurture the connection without smothering or being smothered by the other person. Instead of losing ourselves in the relationship, we maintain our own identity and continue to grow and evolve as human beings. So, the next time you think about love and relationships, remember the importance of emotional independence. Cultivate your own happiness, confidence, and self-esteem, and enter into a relationship not to fill a void, but to share your fullness with another person. Because it's when we love and value ourselves fully that we become truly attractive as partners, capable of building authentic, meaningful, and lasting relationships. Lesson 5. Effective communication. Have you ever stopped to think about how communication is fundamental to strengthening bonds between people? In modern relationships, where we're often immersed in screens and distractions, authentic, patient, and empathetic communication can be the anchor that keeps us connected. When we talk about effective communication, we're not just referring to speaking, but also to actively listening and truly understanding what the other person is trying to convey. It's about sharing our thoughts, feelings, and needs clearly and respectfully, while also being open to receiving the same from our partner. Imagine it as a harmonious dance of exchanging ideas and emotions, where both partners move in sync, creating a safe space where they can be truly vulnerable and authentic with each other. Effective communication allows us to resolve conflicts constructively instead of letting them build up and turn into resentment. It empowers us to express our concerns and desires in a way that is received with understanding and empathy by our partner. Moreover, effective communication helps us build a solid foundation of trust and intimacy in our relationships. When we feel truly heard and understood, we open ourselves up to sharing our deepest thoughts and most intimate fears, creating a connection that is truly meaningful and lasting. So, the next time you find yourself in a conversation with your partner, remember the importance of effective communication. Be present, listen with empathy and respect, and share your truth with honesty and transparency. Pay attention to how your partner responds. Do they understand you or judge you when you speak? And in times of conflict, consider how you both resolve it. Do you come together to find solutions, or do you let it escalate into a bigger issue? Because it's through this genuine exchange that we build relationships that are truly strong, deep, and satisfying. And when we cultivate effective communication in our relationships, we're laying the groundwork for a love that only grows stronger with time. Well, if you've made it this far, I ask that you take a look at the first pinned comment and give it a like to show that you're truly seeking change. Lesson 6. Authenticity. Have you ever felt like you were wearing a mask, trying to fit into other people's expectations instead of simply being who you truly are? The pursuit of external approval can leave us feeling exhausted and empty because we're constantly hiding behind a facade, afraid of being rejected if we show our true essence. However, When we embrace authenticity, we free ourselves from this self-imposed prison and open the doors to more genuine and meaningful relationships. Being authentic means having the courage to show the world who we really are, without fear of judgment or rejection. When we're authentic, we attract people who accept and love us for who we are, not for who we pretend to be. We create deep and authentic connections based on truth and sincerity, where we can be fully ourselves without fear of judgment. Moreover, authenticity allows us to establish healthy boundaries and communicate our needs and desires clearly and assertively. We no longer settle for sacrificing our own happiness to please others because we recognize the value of honoring our inner truth. When we practice authenticity in our relationships, we build a solid foundation of trust and mutual respect. We no longer worry about maintaining a facade or playing power games, because we trust in the strength of who we are and the integrity of our actions. So the next time you find yourself struggling to fit into a mold that isn't yours, remember the importance of authenticity. Have the courage to show the world who you really are, with all your imperfections and quirks, because that's what makes you unique and special. Because it's when we allow ourselves to be truly authentic that we build relationships that are truly meaningful and fulfilling. And when we cultivate this authenticity in our interactions with others, we open the doors to a love that is genuine, deep, and everlasting. Lesson 7. Self-awareness. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, who am I really? Self-awareness is a profound journey of exploring the depths of your own soul, discovering your values, beliefs, and behavior patterns. And in the whirlwind of modern relationships, this journey becomes even more crucial. When we truly know ourselves, we can establish a solid foundation for our relationships. We understand our own needs, desires, and limits, which allows us to communicate them clearly to our partners. This prevents misunderstandings and resentments, building healthier communication and deeper connection. Furthermore, self-awareness helps us identify harmful behavior patterns that can sabotage our relationships. Perhaps we have a tendency to emotionally shut down when we feel vulnerable, or maybe we struggle to assertively express our needs. By recognizing these patterns, we can work on them and grow as more conscious partners. But self-awareness isn't just about improving our relationships with others. It's also about finding satisfaction and personal fulfillment within ourselves. When we deeply know ourselves, we can align our actions with our deepest values, living an authentic life. Explore who you are, what you value, and how you want to live your life. And bring that knowledge into your relationships, allowing it to guide your interactions with others. And when we commit to the ongoing journey of self-awareness, we open the doors to a life of love, connection, and personal fulfillment. Without self-awareness, you may fall into patterns of repeating the same mistakes in relationships, such as choosing partners who are not compatible with your values or needs. Lack of self-awareness can lead to illusions of happiness based on external validation or superficial connections, rather than genuine fulfillment rooted in self-understanding. It enables you to recognize and address harmful coping mechanisms or defense mechanisms that can damage your relationships, such as avoidance or passive-aggressive behavior. By cultivating self-awareness, you empower yourself to make conscious choices in relationships, rather than being driven by unconscious patterns or external influences. This can lead to more authentic and fulfilling connections with others. Lesson 8. Illusion of love as a magical solution. This is one of the lessons that will open your eyes. You know, it's easy to get lost in the illusion that love is the ultimate solution to all your problems. After all, how many stories tell us that love heals all, that it is the key to eternal happiness? But the truth is that sometimes this idealization leads us to an incessant search for something that, in reality, may not be exactly as we expect. So, what to do about it? It's important to recognize that love, as beautiful and powerful as it may be, is not a magic wand that will automatically solve all your difficulties. Unrealistically high expectations can lead to disappointment, and believing that love is the solution to all your problems can trap you in a constant cycle of searching, never feeling fully satisfied. Love is indeed beautiful, but it is only a part of what makes your life meaningful. It can bring you happiness, connection, and support, but it cannot solve all your internal issues. That responsibility falls upon you. Instead of expecting love to be your salvation, you should look within yourself and find the strength to deal with your own challenges. You should cultivate your own self-esteem, your resilience, and your ability to face adversities. Stoicism teaches us that true happiness comes from within, not from external sources like romantic love. It reminds us that we are responsible for our own peace of mind, regardless of the circumstances around us. This doesn't mean that we should reject love or devalue it in any way. On the contrary, it means recognizing its proper place in our lives and appreciating it for what it is, a beautiful addition to our journey, but not the sole source of our happiness. When you find yourself falling into the trap of the illusion of love as a magical solution, remember that you are stronger than you think. Remember that true power lies in your ability to accept reality, to grow from your experiences, and to find happiness within yourself. Love can be wonderful, but you cannot place upon it the weight of all your hopes and dreams. You must learn to love in a mature, balanced, and conscious way, while continuing to develop as a complete and self-sufficient individual. But hold on, this doesn't mean that love doesn't have its value. Far from it. True love, the kind that is built on sincerity, respect, and commitment, can indeed bring you much happiness and comfort in difficult times. It gives you strength to face challenges, supports you in moments of weakness, and helps you grow as an individual. The secret lies in finding balance. It's important to cultivate love in all its forms: self-love, love for others, and love for life itself. Instead of placing all your hopes and expectations in a single romantic relationship, you can seek love in your friendships, in your passions, and in your purposes. So, don't cling to the illusion that love is the solution to all your problems. Instead, open yourself to the beauty and complexity of this human experience. Allow yourself to love and be loved in various ways, and always remember that you are complete on your own, regardless of your romantic status. And finally, we arrive at Lesson 9: Social Pressure and Expectations. Have you ever found yourself trapped in a cycle of social pressure, where it seems like everyone around you is finding a partner, and you start to wonder if there's something wrong with you for not having found someone yet? The pressure to find love can be overwhelming, often leading us to question our own choices and feelings. It's as if there's an invisible timer above our heads, constantly reminding us that we're falling behind compared to others. Society tells us that finding a partner is the norm, that it's the path to happiness and fulfillment. And when we find ourselves single for a prolonged period, we may begin to doubt ourselves and our own worth. But here's the truth that Stoicism teaches us: social pressure and external expectations should not dictate our lives. We should not let the fear of being alone force us into hasty decisions or compromise our own values and desires. Love should not be a race against time, but rather a personal journey of discovery and growth. We should remember that each of us has our own pace and our own path to follow. And that includes the timing of finding a partner. Instead of worrying about what others think or expect from you, focus on understanding what you truly want and need in a relationship. Seek authentic connections based on reciprocity, mutual respect, and compatibility of values. Furthermore, remember that being single is not a sign of failure, but rather an opportunity to get to know yourself better, to become more independent, and to grow as an individual. Stoicism reminds us that true happiness comes from within, not from being in a relationship just to fulfill a social expectation. So if you find yourself under society's pressure to find a partner, take a deep breath and remember that your journey is yours and yours alone. Don't compare yourself to others, and don't let external pressure make you doubt yourself. Trust in time. Trust in yourself. True love will come when you're ready, and until then, enjoy the freedom and opportunity to focus on your own growth and well-being. Always remember that you are whole and worthy of love, regardless of what society may say. In conclusion, we are encouraged to embrace a journey of self-discovery and continuous growth. By adopting valuable lessons about love and relationships, we can transform our lives, nurturing authentic and meaningful connections. Learn to trust your own journey, follow your own pace, and never succumb to social pressure. By committing to self-love, authenticity, and effective communication, and building rewarding relationships. Therefore, live each moment, find joy in the present, and keep growing, knowing that true love begins within yourself. I invite you to leave the following comment. I am resilient and in control of my destiny. Thank you for watching this far. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to keep receiving future content. Watch the next video to continue your journey of personal growth. After all, a single choice can change the course of an entire life.